Hello everyone, welcome to PyLadies Con 2025. I'm excited to introduce our next keynote speaker. She's a senior software engineer and dev advocate, an international speaker and a community builder. She contributes to the community through her roles as a director on the Django Software Foundation board. She's a fellow of the Python Software Foundation, a program chair of DjangoCon US 2025, a Microsoft MVP for Python and WebTrack. Today, she'll be speaking on Beyond Code, Building Careers, Growing Inclusive Communities. I'm excited to introduce Abigail Afi Gbadago. You're welcome, Afi.
Thank you so much, Mamat. Hi, everyone. My name is Afi, or you could call me Abigail, and it's great to be here. So I'll go right into it. So for today, we are going to talk about our careers beyond just writing code and building inclusive communities. So once again, I'm Afi. Some people call me Abigail. You could call me Afi. And these are a few roles I currently hold or have currently held, which is a form of me giving back or contributing to the community. So the theme or vision of PyLadies Con for this year and the previous years is empowering learning and increasing diversity within the Python community. And this resonates with me so much. Looking at the statistics, right, we know that Python is a global web frame. Used globally for like writing code, and also in the AI space is very popular now, or more popular now because of the AI bubble. It's estimated that 4.5 billion USD will be generated by 2032 as a result of Python. And there's a very high demand for it, which is about 96 in the market. So today, I know you are wondering, like, beyond code, building careers and inclusive communities, what we're going to talk about, we'll look at the beginning of journeys. Your journey may be similar or a bit different, and that's totally fine. We'll look at knowing yourself, immersing yourself in culture, exploring and harnessing technical skills, which is very key, becoming a builder, because at some point when you get your skills, you have to build or contribute, leading community, which some people may pick up. It's in different ways. Some are more pronounced than others, and then we'll have a reflection. So to start off with, how many people, I know this is not in person, but how many people are in their first years of using Python, either at school, work, personal projects? Some people may also be within the range of 3 to 5 years, 6 to 10, 10 to 20. And I'm sure if this was in person, a couple of people would probably raise their hand or indicate. So no matter what point you are in your journey, I'm just here to let you know that every experience is valid. So with my first encounter with Python, it was through a boot camp, a PyLadies boot camp back in uni in KNUST. It's called Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Ghana. And I grew from being a community member after attending that PyLadies boot camp to being a contributor and a speaker and then leading in certain communities. The next point is knowing yourself. So this is something that most people sort of know, right? You need to know yourself in order to find the best ways of getting like the best from your career or from your work, from your contributions. There's this popular saying by Socrates, and it's man know thyself. And you realize that when you spend time to figure out what you're good at, what you love, what really drives and pushes you, that's when you're able to reach those high levels of success. And this is from my personal experience or what I think, and that may resonate with you too. So the truth is that reaching the pinnacles of success is quite directly proportional to knowing yourself or self-awareness, right? So one of the things that I always advise or tell my friends or people around me is to spend time and really know yourself. I understand sometimes life crafts its own ways for you to figure out what you want, or it will lead you into a particular path. But there will be that point of your career where you need to sit down and figure out what you really want, what you're good at, what you love, and you could leave like an open door for things you may explore or things that you grow to love. There are moments when you there are moments where you want to quit, or there are moments where you get into something. It could be work, it could be a position, it could be leading a community, and like this meme, you just want to just get into the water. Like you don't even want to come out again because you've had enough. Well, please don't quit. Don't quit yet, because there's more ahead that you're going to do. There's more exciting and great and amazing things that you're going to do. There are times when you have late nights, averaging like 3-4 hours of sleep. There'll be early mornings. You have failing deployment clusters. You have containers that won't even spin up. You mistakenly delete databases in prod. There are so many use cases that could go wrong, right? But you have to find a way of knowing yourself in order to realize that all these things, even though they're happening, they are all phases. Life is in phases, and this is something I had to learn the hard way. All these thoughts and emotions may come in, right? And once you sit down and know about your technical and non-technical abilities, as I was saying, you get to know what to prioritize, what to focus on, right? And then you could fully immerse yourself into the tech culture that shapes us, like the culture we have at PyLadies, right? Which is supporting people and making sure that the Python language is more accessible to communities worldwide. So immersing yourself in culture, understand some people, or some of us, or others, they just want to write long lines of code, build something that's disruptive, something cool and fancy. All these desires are valid, right? But there's more to that, and it's by being the community and being part of the culture, right? We have groups such as PyLadies, that's why we are here. We have Django Girls, we have open source communities. And I'll say, personally, this culture is something that has uplifted me. It has contributed positively to my growth. I've learned so much from it. And by contributing and learning from this career or this community, you get to build your skills. Because once you get immersed in a culture, it's like from one stage to another. So when you are building and harnessing your skills, right, you realize that the skill here is Python, right? And it's something that we use at work. And also you being in the community and you harnessing your skills, you get to support other people who come in. People come in at different levels. So they could come in as beginners, come in as intermediates or advanced. At any stage, you are still valuable, and we need you. This year, probably last year recently, Anaconda raised about 50 million in Series C funding. And, Anaconda is really, really big and a key player in Python and data science in the AI ecosystem. And this shows how foundational Python remains in the enterprise AI stack. So I know that may be like an aside. It's just to let you know that the Python language is still necessary, it's still valid in conversations in your career. And at the same time, whilst you're exploring and harnessing your technical skills with your 9 to 5, you can also contribute to guides, readmes, forums. Those are your best friends. You can grow your skills through contributions to docs, community work, accessibility, which is a bit often overlooked, design, and so much more. So I understand maybe doing this could be of you like a 5 to 9 after your 9 to 5, but there are healthy ways to go about it to increase your skills or work on your skills after learning them. So I believe that your skills are developed more when you share with people. So let's say contributing to the like guides, readmes, or like it could be even events. And that's where you could show up, make mistakes, learn hard, and move faster. So if you feel like maybe you're new to all this and you're not sure what to do, or you're not sure if this is going to be a very good opportunity, for me, the scary things are the things I'll say go for, because they test you, they challenge you, and they bring the best version out of you. The next things I'll say are communities or ways in which to get involved. You have the Python Steering Council, you have Django Not Space, you have Open SciPy, you have docs, outreach, and the list goes on and on. Now, I've spoken so much about like harnessing your technical skills, and the next thing is becoming a builder. In this ecosystem, we are consuming so much every day. Once we wake up and we touch our mobile devices, or get back on our screens for work. We are consuming so much information and knowledge. The main thing here is not just to consume every time, but it's also to be a tool of change by creating something, right? So even if you're not creating, you could contribute to the development of systems or ways in which people could be onboarded or things that people can create, right? So when with all our consuming, we should also try to build and contribute to these spaces and communities in which we are in. And after being a builder, right, I know sometimes we want to hide, but the truth is be very, very visible. That's one thing that I don't think I did a good job at, but it's easy to get stuck in the routine and the heat of joining meetings, pushing features, getting tickets closed, or doing some community work that you write an article and just move on. But there should be a storyline. There should be something progressive around it, right? That would inspire other people that are coming in, so that it sort of shines a light for other people to follow or exemplify. So I'll say that as you keep building at work and your non-work life and in the community, you tend to discover different things, right? You tend to have different experiences, which would enrich other people around you once you share it. So please be visible. This is also an advice to myself, because sometimes I just want to be in the back end quiet. Like I just want to be backstage, mind my business. But hopefully in the next year, as we are winding down for this year, we would do more for the community. We will still give our best and we will be visible. After all this leads me to the next part, which is leadership, like leading communities. And this is a very, very interesting topic for me because it can be a blessing or a curse. I mean, a blessing in most and a curse in some situations, especially if you're not really ready. The thing is, you cannot be very ready to pick up certain skills or leadership roles. Sometimes you have to ease into it. And the truth about these roles are most of these roles are not paid. So, I mean, you are giving your time because you believe in the value of the community or the space. And sometimes it feels like the 5 to 9 after the 9 to 5, and it's quite hard. So if you see anyone doing community work, working, contributing to open source, please be nice to them because they go through a lot. You can contribute to open source once again through code, docs, design, events, accessibility. There are so many options. It depends on what your passion is or what you want to start with. There are a lot of people who could also provide support when you need to get into these things. And understand that the leadership is not just a title, it's a service. It's creating opportunities and creating safe spaces for people to thrive. There'll be a lot of experiences that you have never encountered before in your life. There are a lot of things that you have to go through and pick up the most important parts for future experiences, because as we are progressing as human beings, you would always learn one thing or another which will inform a decision for the next similar event. So it's more like reinforcement learning in machine learning. um as we are leading, we are also inspiring the next generation of leaders. So whatever you do, please be cautious as you're leading, because there are people who are watching you, right? Who are also going to emulate certain things. So let's try and make sure that in the event of leading, we are choosing good decisions that are ethical, sustainable, and we are finding a way to also inspire the next generation of leaders, because we are paying it forward and the cycle continues. One thing that resonates a lot with me when it comes to leadership is communities thrive when leaders make space for others. There are policies set in place such that leaders don't exceed a maximum number of term, right? And this is very good. It prevents burnout. And also you realize that it creates space for other people to come in and also build upon what has been done. So now, with all that has been said and all the points with building, harnessing of skills, this is more like a reflection. Here are things I've learned: that we don't just grow careers, right? We create opportunities. That's it. We create safe spaces for people to thrive in. And we just don't join communities, which is great. I join a community, getting to have new people to talk to, getting to have new friends, being part of something. it's not just that, we also have to contribute and build them, because there are people who built it for you to enjoy how it is now. So make sure that you also try and do your quota to maintaining or sustaining that vibe, right? The last thing that I'll say is Python is for everyone, no matter like your skill, background. I mean, you are here, so you're a testament to how wonderful this community is. PyLadies has been doing a very, very great job. The leads, they put in so much work. I see certain things in the open, also backdoor. I see certain things that I see that they've spent so much time in putting all these things together. So if you're in this community or any similar community, also try your best to give back and to contribute to it to make sure that it's still thriving. So once again, Python is for everyone, and because together we are shaping these careers, like our careers, our culture, and then these communities. And yes, this is what I have for you. Thank you so much for listening to me. And these are resources I use. And this is how you can find me on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much, Hafi. That was such an insightful and wonderful keynote. We don't just join communities, we join and we build them. Thank you for that. You've been able to take us like back to when we started learning Python. I've been seeing like a lot of people sharing their comment on when they started learning Python on Discord. So we'll start with questions now, if there are any questions. Okay. Yeah, so there's one question. Have you joined other programming languages community? Is there anything you would like to see in the Python community? I
Yeah,
think those
I
are
have joined. Yeah, I have joined other communities. Previously, probably JavaScript and Java, because I started with Java first, Java Spring Boot. There was a community, but I would say the Python community is more like, from my background, it's more bigger, and there's a lot of activity more than those communities at that time. Um, I think we do almost the same thing, the same meetups, conferences, right? The differences will be more geographical or background, like based on the background of people, and those ones are not very, very big nuances or differences. So those ones are not issues. I think currently the Python community is doing great in terms of community and technical improvement, bringing people together. Yeah, I'll say great job so far. But I think what everyone on this live or on this meeting can do is to go and donate to the PSF, PyLadies, all the communities you could think about, like DSF, PSF, PyLadies, BPD, any community that helps you or enriches you or gives you that sense of community. Yes, please go and support them as much as you can. I wish I had the links here, but when you go on GitHub, you see the sponsor button, PSF, PyLadies, and yeah, all the other ones, DSF, BPD.
Yeah, it's definitely necessary to run the community. And I think there's another one on, is there something you'd like to see in the Python community?
Hmm. Yeah, probably more contributions. I don't want to be someone who is advocating so much for money, but from my experience on leading, these communities need money or funding to thrive, right? And so I would love to see more people giving, more organizations giving, and so that we sustain the communities better. That's and more people joining. That would be something. Those are things I'd love to see more.
Okay, great. So we have another question here that
Mhm.
says, what would you do to encourage someone afraid to speak at a conference?
And I say, me myself, I'm also scared. I'm scared sometimes because I mean, there's so many people, and I have to find a way to I don't know, like I have to find a way to sing myself. And yeah, so I'll just say try to have a mock of the talk. Like you could reach out to me, Ramat, anyone who's going to be there or even online. I try and run through like the session, try and find out maybe areas to improve on. you could have one or two people who could do mock interviews, not mock interviews. I'm so used to, oh God, I'm so used to job search. I have a job actually. Yeah. You could have like mock run throughs of your talk, and also sharing it with the organizers. So some communities ask you if you need help and support for like your speaking. If you're a first time speaker, even if you're a 10-time speaker and you're still scared, you can reach out to the organizers. You can reach out to people in the community. Just send them a LinkedIn. Hi, I'm going to have a talk at maybe DjangoCon Europe, and I need someone to help me go through this. You can schedule a 15 to 30 minutes call and do a round through with them. And yeah, that also works. Even with your friends. I had I had before coming here, I had a walkthrough with Sarah because I forgot there was a StreamYard link, and I was trying to share my screen on Discord, and then she made me realize that yes, I have to use StreamYard. And even that one, I even got the link wrong. So please do walkthroughs with your friends. I even took out a couple of slides because I realized that these keynotes are shorter. So I had to remove so many slides and do a run through today about an hour or two ago with Sarah before coming on. So I understand you're scared, but trust me, there are people in the audience who don't even know what you're about to say. Like there are people, there's going to be one thing in your presentation that people will pick up from. So I understand you're scared, but don't worry. And trust me, when you get off the stage, other people will forget what you even said. People may even forget if you make a mistake. This year at DjangoCon US, I made a mistake with a word. I don't even remember that word, and we're in December. It happened in September. So don't sweat it. Don't stress over it. Like don't kill yourself. Like it's fine. Okay, it's fine. Like mistakes happen, and we move regardless. So just do your best. Go on stage with so much confidence. They are going there to empower and inspire people and let them know what you've learned, right? So go on stage, say what you have to say, go through the slides, and you'll be awesome. Like just give it your best. That's what I'll
Exactly.
say.
Exactly right. Yes, and I think the final question that we have on Discord is, what would you like to see in the community in 10 years?
Wow. A decade. I'd love to see more involvement with minorities, like people coming from minority backgrounds. I'd love to see the communities having more money, more funding from organizations. I don't love the way I'm saying funding because maybe I mean, I'm part of the fundraising working group for the DSM and I'm also on the board. So I love to see you and communities thrive, as I was saying, and our communities, open source communities, need funding to go on. This year, I realized a couple of open source communities that support newcomers or beginners, they've shut down. You see, so funding is a very, very big issue. I feel like more conversation should be had about funding because they need these things to thrive. And organizers know, people on the board know, people who are in groups on leadership like levels, they know. So more funding for these organizations to make them more self-sustainable and bring more people in, more representation, more contributions, and maybe an easier process on getting changes in, like making changes to certain things. It could be websites, it could be workflows, it could be maybe the process of merging a PR when you start. Instead of going through a very long process, there could be like a shorter and more robust way of getting those things done. That would be my insight. So more people, more funding, a lot of funding, and then yeah. So thank you so much for having me.
All right. Thank you very much once again, Afi. It's been very insightful hearing you talk about your experience. And thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
Thank you too. Bye.